Most guys think getting lean is the hard part, but the truth is, staying lean after 30 is where almost everyone fails. I'm 35 years old, I sit around 10% body fat all year round, and I can tell you it's a whole different ballgame than just doing a 12-week cut. So in this video, I'll break down exactly what I do to stay lean all year round, the hidden challenges that no one talks about, and the common mistakes most guys make that cause them to yo-yo back up in weight. Let's jump right into it. Okay, the very first thing that I did and that you need to do as well is you have to have a weekend in social management, right? Like as we get older, so many more social events pop up, more weekend drinking opportunities come up, maybe going to restaurants. So we have to have a plan for it. And most guys would say, I should do pretty good between Monday through Friday, but the weekend comes and we let 2 or 3 bad days get the best of us and we ruin all our progress. Now, I'm going to tell you exactly what I do and did, and you can apply this basically exactly to yourself. So to this day, like I still have my pizza and whiskey every single Sunday, watch my football, and I still have a few drinks usually on Saturday night when I'm out with my friends and my girlfriend. The difference between me now and the past I never really accounted for those higher calorie weekends. So I did good Monday through Friday, but then I had those 1 or 2 bad days, which would completely derail my progress. And you might be thinking like, shit, like that's me right now and I gotta fix it. Well, I'll tell you guys, it's actually very simple. I'll give you a quick couple nuggets here, what I do, and I'll give you more of a breakdown 1 second. But essentially what you need to do is, if you know you're having a higher calorie, let's say Saturday or Sunday, all you need to do is you have to lower the calories a little bit, let's say the day before and the day after. So let's say, Sunday you don't have to count calories, but let's say 3,000 calories you have on Sunday. Maybe instead of having your typical 2,000 on Monday, you have 1,800, and maybe Tuesdays, 1,800. So you just lower it the other few days to compensate for the high calorie number. And if you do that, because that's exactly what I do, then you can still shred fat. And in this video, most importantly, talk about staying lean all year round. Now, if you want an exact breakdown on how to do it with the numbers, there's a free document. I'll just link it in the comments down below. Okay, the second thing that I do that you need to do as well is you have to build your all-inclusive meal plan. So what the hell do I mean by that, right? Well, have you ever gone to an all-inclusive vacation down south? And do you notice like the buffet foods are pretty similar every single day with maybe some slight tweaks, right? So like the breakfast is pretty similar, the lunch is pretty similar, and the dinner is pretty similar, but you might have like different foods like along the way. And they basically rinse and repeat that cycle when you're gone, essentially, right? So week after week, it's basically the exact same cycle that they're doing. That way, it's like they have it essentially on autopilot. Well, you have to do the exact same thing now for yourself, and I'll tell you exactly how you want to set this up. So you want to have the same foods every single day, Sunday, Monday. So let's say you're cooking for Sunday, cook for Monday, have the exact same foods for those 2 days, and try to span that as many weeks as you can. Tuesday and Wednesday, exact same foods. Have the same foods Tuesday and Wednesday, but they're different than Sunday and Monday, if that makes sense. So maybe let's say for Sunday and Monday, you're having, let's say, fish for dinner. Maybe Tuesday and Wednesday, you're having chicken for dinner. And then Thursday, Friday, same thing, different from the other days, but also the same thing. And then Saturday could be more of like your variety day, or maybe you go out to a restaurant with your wife, your partner, with your friends or whatnot. And you basically just rinse and repeat and span that over the course of weeks and months and as long as you essentially can do it. Because the more simple you are, the better it's going to be. And if you do want more ideas in terms of like what the hell like do I eat, just comment high protein in the comments below, and I'll let me send you simple plug and play recipes that you can do. Because if you just follow this format, guys, there's zero guesswork to it. Plug and play, and that's how you shred fat and actually stay lean over the course of years. All right, the third thing that I do that you need to do as well is you have to set your non-negotiables. So let me give you an example. In your job now, or maybe a previous job, I'm sure every single month you had to do a certain amount of tasks, right? Like you probably had to meet a quota, whether it's like making X amount of dollars, calling X amount of customers, sending X amount of emails. Like that's your quota, that's your non-negotiable, and you're gonna reach that number no matter what, because if you don't, you're probably gonna get fired or you're gonna be in trouble from the boss, right? So what I'm trying to say is you have non-negotiable tasks that you do. Now you have to think of that the exact same thing when it comes to fitness. And we have to build out your non-negotiables. And some things to consider, and I'll tell you exactly what my non-negotiables are, and you can really think about it yourself. And when I mean non-negotiable, guys, I'm saying that you are setting a target and you're gonna do it no matter what. Just like I told you the example with the job earlier. So some things I want you to consider when setting your non-negotiables is how many workouts can you commit to per week. And this is the floor, right? So like if you say 3, you have to do 3. So how many workouts can you do per week? How much protein can you hit per day? How many steps can you get per day? How many hours of sleep can you get per day? You want to make sure you hit these non-negotiables at least 95% of your days. So for me, like my non-negotiables are at least 4 strength workouts per week. Typically it's 5, but I'm just being generous here. 10,000 steps per day. That's also a non-negotiable for me. 10,000, excuse me, I just said that. 7 hours of sleep per day and at least 150 grams of protein per day. So like those are my non-negotiables. And like, yeah, the odd time if I'm on vacation or having a weird wacky day, I might miss it. But at least 95% of the time, I'm going to hit my non-negotiables. So your big takeaway here, and you got some homework to do if you want to not only get lean, but this is how you stay lean for life, because you're just not negotiating with yourself, right? Like you wake up, you know your task for the week, you just have to do it. Build your non-negotiables out. Once you have it, I'd be curious to let me know what they are. Comment below because I'm curious to see what your 4 to 5 main non-negotiables actually are. Okay, the fourth thing that I do that you need to do as well is you have to have a good workout plan to keep you lean for life. Now, let me explain the difference between lifting weights and cardio, and I'll give you a pretty good analogy here. Now, lifting weights is basically investing into a good, solid, safe, reliable stock. Like you might not see a good payout right away, but you know like 10, 20, 30 years down the road, or at least you have a good idea that stock's going to make you some money. It might not be like an insane amount of money, but it's going to get better and better over the course of time. Now, cardio, it's kind of like investing in new shiny object syndrome. So kind of like Bitcoin. Like I don't know a ton about Bitcoin, so correct me if I'm wrong, but Bitcoin, right? It was cool. You invest in it because it sounds all exciting, but the next thing we know, the stock crashed pretty fast, right? Well, cardio versus lifting weights, cardio in a given workout, yes, you can burn more calories and you might be able to lose a little more weight off the bat, but lifting weights is what's going to keep you lean for life, which is the purpose of this video. This is why you always want to dedicate more of your time to lifting weights. Now, a bit of a sidetrack, but also kind of tied into the point here. I think a lot of us think that our metabolism really slows down after the age of 30, but I'm here to tell you that if you do the right things, so lifting weights, hitting your protein, sleeping well, all that sort of stuff, your metabolism actually doesn't slow down, guys. And this is why lifting weights is so important. And this is exactly how you stay lean for life. So if you want to mix in cardio for your workouts, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Like go for it for sure. But just make sure it's, lifting weights is the bread and butter of your foundation. And that's how you get lean, stay lean, and you're going to be chiseled for the rest of your life, basically. Okay, the fifth thing that you need, and this is the most important thing of them all, is you need to have an identity shift. Now, let me explain, but let me ask you a question first that's going to make perfect sense. Let's say that you're someone who's maybe a little bit overweight, like you're not ripped, but you're not like super fat, like someone with a typical body fat. What would happen and what would you believe? Like every single day, like let's say 20 people every single day went up to you and said like, hey, Tim, like you're looking ripped, man. Like your arms are jacked. Like keep up the good work. Like what have you been doing? Would you probably believe that after hearing that day after day from like 20 different people? You probably would, right? Now, on the other end, let's say you're actually in pretty good shape. Like you're not like completely ripped, but let's say you have like maybe 12, 15% body fat. So like pretty damn good shape, right? And every single person, or not every single person, but like 20 people went up to you and said like, hey, Tim, like, hey, you're looking pretty overweight, man. Like don't even bother trying to lose fat because no matter what you do, you're not going to accomplish it. Would you believe that? You probably would, right? Because if you're always hearing these like either positive or negative thoughts, we tend to believe what people, perceive of us. And a lot of the times, right, it all comes down to our mind. And this is why I'm saying you have to have an identity shift, believing that you can do it. Because maybe in the past, like you were known as the guy who could never lose weight, or you're the party guy, or the overweight guy, like whatever it is, right? But if you stick to that identity and you don't really have a true identity and belief that you can actually accomplish your fat loss goals, then there's a very good chance you're just not going to have it happen, right? So instead of having like the overweight guy who can never lose fat, maybe identity belief for yourself, have the identity belief of, okay, I'm going to be the guy who's going to done no matter what. And I'm going to be the new fit guy, the fit dad, or like whatever identity you want to be. Whatever positive identity is, make sure you have that, guys, because if you don't, no matter what I told you in today's video, it's not going to really work in terms of losing fat and keeping it off for the long term. Now, most importantly, we have our big free school group coming up. So we haven't announced it quite yet. It's going to be sometime this week or next. We're going to have more, we're going to give more value in that program, challenges, resources, everything, than more than $1,500 coaching programs. I promise that. So if you want to see the announcement, make sure to subscribe. Please like this video if you watch it. It'll either come out the announcement this week or next. It's free of charge, especially for the first 100 members. So make sure, guys, to get in there. You're not going to want to miss it. Thanks for watching the video. We'll talk soon. Have a good day, guys.